Warning! Little Jimmy Jimmies should not be listening to this, or if they do, they should have their mommies and or daddies present in order to explain context, because this is for adult man-children and adult children only.
Yes, only for adult children. We don't have room for any of those adults or children. None of
No.
those. Because on this very special episode of the Tomodachi Bros podcast, Ditaku and I are going to share with you a work of fiction, a very complicated work of fiction that is near and dear to our hearts. This is Amazing Quest, Pudding Warrior.
Before we go into this, you have to understand why this came to be and why the IAQ, which is to say an infrequently asked questions, are a thing. You see, there are these people. They existed in the distant past. The ones we encountered, there's a few people who have done this before. I want to say the first was Beef of Flam.
That sounds
who
right.
I don't remember who did that one. But the ones that we read were on a, I think now defunct animation group called Disaster Labs on Newgrounds. They wrote a series called Dead Horse V, which is basically a giant send-up of Mega Man X. And wouldn't you know it, a young Snek and a young Ditaku really like Mega Man X. We thought they were pretty funny. And we decided to make our own infrequently asked questions. Basically, making mockeries of video games for video games that don't actually exist.
Yep.
No, you cannot read them. They don't really. Well, I would lie and say they don't exist. They do exist. I know for a fact they do. But maybe if you give Snek money, he'll let them.
It'll be a subscribe to star tier privilege, because they're not the funniest things we've ever written. They're not the best things you've ever written, but they'll probably make you chuckle a couple times throughout. But of all the IAQs, of all the stuff we've done, Amazing Quest, and Amazing Quest 1 in particular, because it is a series technically, Amazing Quest 1 stands head and shoulders above all of its competition. It is one of the things I am proud to have written even years after its completion. And there's not too many things I can say about that. Even some of my early Snek stuff kind of makes me cringe in retrospect.
And
Amazing Quest is markedly older than that.
Yes, actually, ironically, this one actually predates Snek by about 3 years from its completion.
Yep.
Actually.
Exactly right.
So, yes. So just so you're aware, Amazing Quest 1 was written about 2012 to 2016. And so now you're thinking and going, oh my gosh, this thing is 10 years old. You're welcome.
You are now acutely aware of how old you are.
Holy cow, I'm really old.
You are, but that's okay. I mean...
All right. But enough fiddle farting around. We're Amazing Quest 1.
This is a long story.
This is Amazing Quest 1. Mm-hmm. And we are going to be reading it to you.
Yes. We are going to be doing an proactive reenactment of this epic tale of drama and love and hate and betrayal and friendship. Uh,
A multi-generational trauma, a ethnic war, a climate collapse, a magic war between sisters that goes across centuries. This is pretty much everything.
it is. It really is. So, are we going to start
So,
the cast reading, or are we going to jump straight into?
I suppose we should read the whole thing. So yeah, I will read the cast.
Certainly.
So controls. We didn't put anything there. I
No, we did
assume
an
that you know
older
how.
version.
We assume that I guess that you knew how to control a RPG. This is a old RPG in the style of 16-bit fare like Chrono Trigger, latter day Final Fantasies, which is say 4, 5, and 6, and Breath of Fire. This game takes a lot of inspiration from Breath of Fire.
That it does.
So, our cast. Hero D protagonist. Class. Pudding warrior. His element is light. He uses swords and shields. The hero of the story, he has the ability to transform into the powerful pudding form. He is also something of an idealist and a romantic, something both his party members and enemies capitalize on, rib on endlessly. Ozma Zoris Torubal. Something you'll notice throughout this is that there are a lot of what you would think typos. In this sense, this is a typo. This is very much a typo. You're welcome for that. This is my fault. So, class, martial princess. Element, fire. She uses knuckle weapons. The princess of the Torubal kingdom and practitioner of the ancient fighting style of Siendo. She has many detractors. Where, Moe princess? But her head-exploding effectiveness cannot be denied. Kimiyawa, class, best girl, ninja elite. Element, wind. She uses shurikens as weapons. A well-endowed, busty Kunoichi that Hiro and Ozma rescue from the Dark Puddings. She is a cheerful young woman in a complete glass cannon. That is Truax. Her toss ability, which she never really uses, rereading it, but I guess, it is a thing.
It's a
Combines
thing,
with
but
her
we
insane.
don't ever do anything with it.
Yes, just kind of she basically like morphed into the black mage of the party, where she uses a lot of offensive magic. So it's not really like a ding against her, but we kind of forgot that. Oh yeah, she's a ninja. She throws things at people rather than just does magic. Ninja magic that ninjas are well known for. Her toss ability, combined with her insane speed and high attack, make her popular with offensively minded players. Just for offensively minded players. Loy roll. Class, the Loy roll. Or, alternatively, best big brother. Element. He doesn't have an element. He uses swords. Loy roll. Just a Loy roll. There's really no other way to describe Kim Yawa's older brother. Well, all right. I'll try. Imagine Elton John and Oscar Wilde, fused with Freddie Mercury. These two are fused again with just total awesome. That's Loyroll. He fights the Dark Puddings, but only between his true calling, fighting dinosaurs. Can you match his tempo? Mancala. She is a merchant mermaid. Element water. She uses abacuses as weapons. Abaci? Whatever. A ruthless capitalist mermaid who seeks to further her own ends, no matter the cost. That means she'll stoop to no low to keep her investments in the black. Good thing for Hero, she's on his side, lest his life be a living hell. Wait. More. Class. Worst character. Minor. Element Earth. Weapons, shovels. an unlucky miner who's trapped by Moot of the Dark Pudding's Heavenly Kings. If you rescue him, you gain a robust, steadfast companion, unfazed by the weirdness the hero seems to attract. Not that it makes the world of dreams any more tolerable. Funny face. Yes, once again, this is a product of 2012, so emojis are a thing that occasionally will show up. Dama, class, furry. This was not nearly as funny. I mean, because ultimately we kind of, once again, this was written over the course of 4 years, and so it kind of became more and more that pretty much everyone in the cast was not really human. So, but shrug. She also does not have an element. She uses magic staves, a powerful chimera sorceress that assisted ancient puddings seal the evil goddess housed away. Her powerful magic makes her a potent ally, as does her adamant refusal to wear pants. She adds a unique air to Hero's Party. And Amelia the Sword God. She is a dark pudding slayer. She also doesn't have an element, and now I'm realizing that there's like 4 characters that don't have elements. And she has her own unique weapon, Amelia's Saber. But this is actually important to recruiting her. If you manage to acquire Amelia's Saber, then you gain Hero's brusque older sister as an ally. Her powerful peace pudding form makes her a much-needed relief to the unrelenting late game. A shame, then, that she cannot use any other weapons, save her own saber. Chapter 1. From one fire to another fire. It is an age of myth. The great clan of Pudding has always sought it to slay evil and pursue justice. To this end, they threw down the evil goddess housed and sealed her in her higher realms. To keep her there, they forged 5 talismans of power. However, in recent years, a legend of a goddess who can grant any wish if all talismans are gathered has been circulating. Because of this, half of the Puddings have turned on their brethren. These dark Puddings seek to dominate the world, and only their embattled cousins, the light Puddings, can stop them. It is an age of myth and war. This is the amazing quest. A group of people are in a house as one runs in. The dark Puddings are attacking! You then take control as one of the people, the teenage hero, talk to the older woman, who is in the corner with a green cloak and blue hair. Our hero, you're here. Those dark pudding bastards have arrived. I want you to get in the cellar. You're our last hope.
I'm sorry, but holy shit, that's your voice!
I'm old!
That's Amelia!
Oh, wait.
That's Amelia, dude!
Oh, right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Oh, my goodness. I thought this was the elder. I completely
Oh, the elder's
on that.
a
I'm
dude!
sorry.
Amelia, you really need to stop drinking so much.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I keep drinking root beer.
That's a brick joke, everybody.
I keep drinking root beer.
Hero responds, but Amelia, the dark puddings, they'll...
Leave it to me. My percentage is the highest in our family. Amelia then leaves at the door of the right. You then take control of Amelia, still drunk on fruit beer. Make your way outside and you'll see the village is on fire. That's not good. To the northwest is a series of turbaned soldiers and a single red-headed woman in a fez. Fez woman. Ah, Amelia the sword god makes her appearance. Soldier, what's her percentage? Soldier, fiddling with the handheld screen. It's over! Fez woman. I swear to Lowell's, if you continue down this road, you'll be sorry. Yes, my lady. Her percentage is short of 4,000. I didn't think the sword god was so weak. Soldiers, dispose of her. 5 soldiers surround Amelia. I'm way too elegant for this shit. You're then thrust into a battle with the 5D pudding soldiers. Once again, you have to understand, this is a Super Nintendo game. We don't have time for extra letters because we only have, like, 4 megabytes. This isn't even a challenge. Merely engage pudding form, use steam breath, kill them all. Something that always gets me, though, is Amelia's arm shaking idle motion as if she's pleasuring her energy saber. How very phallic, Snek come. You also have to understand that No More Heroes was relatively new back then.
Have you mentioned this is a product of like 2012 sense of humor and pop culture references?
I mean, it probably will come up as we read this. Interesting. But there's one thing you did not calculate. That you're a punk-ass bitch. You insolent little cur! You're then thrust into battle with JD. However, there's nothing you can do. After 3 turns, she'll engage her pudding form and it's over. Or for footiness' sake, use Amelia's choice words skill to make JD freak out at your sick burns. JD, who's now standing over Amelia's smoldering body. I believe we're done here. Men, move out! You then take control of Hero, who can move freely once again. The dark puddings are no longer present, and the village, or first town as the store owner tells you, is in ruins. Hero, you survived!
I know, it was crazy.
I'm sorry to say, your sister has passed away.
Amelia, no!
Let me finish!
Oh.
She and the JD woman passed over the far bridge, past Demel Nowhere. If you hurry, you can get to her. Hero, you are the product of a breeding program to counter the dark puddings. Now is your chance to prove your worth.
Wow, I'll do my best.
Yeah, no pressure or anything, but we're all depending on you.
Thanks.
The first thing to do after the Elder tells you this is to go to the overworld, grind until at least level 5, where you'll get the rice pudding form. After you do so, make your way to the east, where there's a tower there. The sign calls it the Fog Tower, but its actual name in Japanese was Toad Fortress, so good going, translation team. Yeah. Fog Tower. The first thing you'll note is that the humidity of the tower lowers your speed significantly. Also, the tower has much tougher enemies than outside, with such lovelies as the Smooch Toad, the Friendly Frog, and the Sweaty Fly, all to get tougher than the Munchkins outside. Munchkins are a recurring enemy, you'll notice. I always kind of assumed that they'd be like the imps in early Final Fantasy. I don't know how you ever thought of them there, Snek. But
Yeah,
that was
it's about the mental image I've always had for them.
Anyways, however, you can easily get to level 8 to 9 thanks to them, so search around. The tower is pretty straightforward, and the healing fountains make it even easier. You'll find a buckler, several dengakus. Dengaku is a fried tofu that's on a stick, by the way. It's a Japanese fast food. And a frog diadem helmet. A diadem is a circlet you wear. It goes over your forehead. After you get all these items, head to the northwest, where you'll find a dog dressed in a frog costume. Frog dog. Woof, 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 woof. Now we frogs will take over the region, all thanks to those dark puddings.
Hello? Can I go through?
Woof, woof, woof. You and that birthmark in the shape of a submarine. You must be the one Lady Jady told me of. We frogs will not stand for this.
Excuse me. I'm pretty sure you're a dog, not a frog.
That is impossible. I have smooth skin and a long tongue.
That's a costume, and you're panting.
What am I regal bearing and webbed feet?
What about your wagging tail?
I'll smash you to kibbles and woof. The very first boss battle. Frog Dog King. His life points are 1,000. His magic points are 250. The Frog Dog King is tough unless you try rice pudding. Once you do, the sheer force of your awesome, stupendous, pathetically weak pudding form causes the Frog King to double over with laughter, rendering him unable to act for the rest of the battle, then simply revert and assault him with normal attacks. If not, then prepare for Sticky Tongue and Water 1 to smack you to pieces. Not hard in either case, but still. So funny! Oh,
I'm the
he
product. He
explodes.
explodes. Yes, I'm the product of a pudding eugenics program, and I'm still this weak. What happened?
At this, the air in the tower cleared as the frog dog's panting ceased. At this, head outside to find a grateful king and his entourage. Great hero, you saved my castle from those detestable frogs.
You too? It was a dog.
No, now that the evil Frog King has been slain, we of Demare Point will happily assist against the Dark Puddings. At this point, the earth shakes and tosses everyone to the ground. The fog tower then collapses right in front of you. Great gods! The Dark Puddings must have quake control.
How'd you do that?
Eh?
You made it seem all important.
Oh, it's something that comes with the plot. Now, hero, since you possess the holy birthmark, you ought to take care of the Dark Puddings and their earthquakes. They have a camp to the southwest. Southwest. Southeast. I mean, to be fair, southwest is about on the level of things.
You know, I think we should retcon it to say southwest from now on.
Okay.
South.
All right.
The southwest.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. It's changed. You then proceed to the southwest as directed. Got to change that too.
Yep.
Which will lead to a city on the coast. You will then wait until it's night before you continue on, though, as the Dark Puddings will capture you and therefore cause a game over. Once it's night, though, half of the Dark Puddings are asleep, allowing you to sneak by. Beware, though. These strange guns that they're carrying hurt, and if you alert them, they'll call more to compensate for any you manage to defeat. Once you reach the middle of the city, there's a small building labeled Headquarters. Very convenient. Enter to find another dungeon, the Dark Pudding Underground. Dark Pudding Underground. The Dark Pudding Underground is an interesting place. Apparently the Dark Puddings either drilled directly into hell or somehow managed to safely harness the lava for their own purposes. Anyways, the path is straightforward with a few dead ends. I recommend grinding to level 10 at least before proceeding on to the end. You'll see why. After you find a rope bridge going north, you be warned, a boss awaits you. Hero walks across a bridge to see JD conversing with a gigantic man wearing a metal helmet and another turbaned soldier. The light pudding warriors are no more, save for that so-called god of swords. Who's going to be doing Zodon, I guess?
I'll do Zodon. What the heck?
Okay.
We'll find use for her soon enough. What of the search for the talismans?
Soldier pulls a silk sheet off a podium, revealing a gleaming brown jewel. My lord Zodon, we have found it, the Earth Talisman.
Excellent. With this, our ambition is almost within our grasp. Hey, what are you doing? Where's Amelia? Who is this?
The pipsqueak of the light puddings. With the sword god in their possession, they have no noble fighters left.
Is that so? Boy, I'll say this for your own sake. Go back. This world is corrupt. We of the Dark Puddings need to execute this ambition. For your sake, ours, and the entire world. And you burned down my village and kidnapped my sister for what, exactly? I tire of this. JD, dispose of him.
Tarsus, dispose of him. Yes, my lady.
If you manage to survive this era, then come to see me again. I will be in the city of Gamadne on the far continent. You'll see.
JD and Zodon step onto a blue circle to the right and warp off. Don't forget about me, fool. Tarsus and Vulcan Machine. Torsus has 2,000 life points, 300 magic points. The Vulcan machine has 1,000 life points and no magic because it just does one thing. It's a gimmick. This is a reference to a certain battle in Breath of Fire 1, by the way. Torsus is difficult, not because of himself, but because of the machine behind him. Every so often he'll use Torsus fiddled with the Vulcan machine action, and you'll take 40 damage due to seismic activity. The trick is to focus on the Vulcan machine until it dies, which will kill Torsus. And that's the boss battle. My brothers will avenge me! Ugh. Torsus shifts the range dial to entire continent and smashes the ignition as the machine hums and sparks dangerously. Torsus salutes, life and prosperity to Emperor Zada! And he explodes too.
Again with the exploding. I hope I don't do that.
Quickly interact with the machine, which describes the massive energy flowing out of it. It then asks if you like to remove the Earth Talisman. Do so, and walk over to the blue circle where Zodon and JD warped earlier. There'll actually be a hidden timer here, as if 30 seconds pass without you getting to the Earth Talisman and walking. You'll get a game over as the city explodes, and you'll get the message that the era of war never ended. However, if you do...
Warp!
Nothing happens, and the shaking grows stronger.
Warp! 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 Please?
The circle begins to spark.
Oh, crap.
The entire Dark Pudding camp explodes violently, collapsing into the ground as Hero is launched violently into the sky. Meanwhile, in nearby Terubal, a Pyrophobics Anonymous picnic is taking place as a flaming star descends upon it. The picnic is then consumed by the impact, leaving a smoldering crater as a large, muscle-bound woman looks on. Chapter 2. We're in Terubal now.
Should I take over as narrator?
Yeah, we are. And please do. I need a drink.
I was about to say, it's thematic because we alternated chapters in writing this. Utaku wrote the odd-numbered chapters, and I wrote the even-numbered chapters. So bear that in mind as we proceed. The scene reopens in Sepia, with little Hero and his sister, who retains the same sprite for the scene, talking in a field.
All right, little brother, today I'll teach you the basics of sword fighting, and I am not drunk on root beer right now.
Must I?
Yes, you're the product of pudding eugenics program. Generations of selective breeding and dedication to the cause of finding the pudding savior have come down to just the two of us.
I had no say in that, though. And it hurts... Oh, I'm supposed to be Little Hero. I had no say in that, though. And it hurts when you hit me with a stick.
It's not a stick. It's a training sword.
You're missing the point.
Exactly. That's why it's a training sword.
Doh. Amelia winds up and bonks Little Hero, putting him on his back. Ow, mommy.
Maybe that's enough for today.
The scene fades out, and back again, as Hero opens his eyes, lying in a bed somewhere in a small room. Ow. A door opens, and the huge woman we saw previously walks in. We get prompted to name her, but I tend to stick with the defaults. And this is Ozma. She's the biggest party sprite in the game, towering over Hero by a good head and a half, and several more in the front, if you get my drift. Her brown hair pulled back into a ponytail. The catchy song playing during the scene is her theme, Merciful Heart. She walks over to the bed. I have no idea what voice I'm going to do for this. Okay. I'm not doing the Sneko voice, just so that we're all on the same page. I'm gonna save that. No. We are not having Seven Deadly Schmucks Elizabeth for Ozma.
Holy crap, that's your voice?
How are you feeling? Like I was just blown up and hurled several miles through the air. Hero turns to face Ozma. My lady, sweet angel of Lull Invictus himself, I implore you, tell me your name, or my life will surely come to its end. Ozma's sprite lights up in red here. I'm Princess Ozma Zorus Terubal, good sir. I was the one who found you in the smoldering crater and brought you here to the hospital. The princess herself. Tales of your power and beauty spread far, even to my remote hamlet, but I see they do you no justice. Kya, you! Ozma blushes, puts one hand to her beaming face, and then socks Hero a good one with the other. The sound clip that emits is much like that of a chicken squawking in mortal terror, leading to the bizarre and oft-repeated nonsense meme of Chicken Hero sub. Hero falls back, doing his best impression of the scream. That's a culture reference, everyone.
We should also point out at this point that like a lot of the names are overly complex and verbose, and that's kind of just a running gag that we do. I don't really know why we did that, but we did.
That just kind of seemed to be the theme with this story, and like everyone's names are just weird, exotic, and largely made up. Yeah. Oh, I overdid it again. Shoot. At this point, we take control of Princess Ozma herself. If we inspect Hero, she says, "It was just a playful little bump to the shoulder, and there he lies, near death. Better find the doctor." We can then inspect our inventory. Ozma has no spells and starts to start and begins at level 1. Not like she needs them. Even at level 1, her physical stats nearly eclipse Hero's. This one I actually want to explain. I played the Mother trilogy. In Mother 1, you get this character named Pippi for a very, very brief window of time at the very start of the game. And she has no psychic powers, unlike Ninten. So apparently to compensate for that, they gave her physical stats like really, really high growths. So if she levels up just like a small number of times while in your party, her physical stats eclipse Ninten's in just a few levels, even though she's like less than half his actual level at that leg of the game. And I was just like...
And it's even funnier when you get Paula, and the entire time when you got Paula in your playthrough, you're like, if only I got Pippi.
Anna.
If only I kept Pippi.
Yeah, not Paula, Anna. Paula actually has good stats. Anna does not.
Oh, you're right. You know, all the Mother games kind of meld together, and I'm like, well, she's not Kumatora, so...
Yeah, no, fair. That's fair. But yeah, this is kind of why, like, at level 1, Ozma has, like, no magic stats, but her physical stats are higher than Hero's. Hero being kind of a red mage all-rounder character.
I mean, she's basically female Kenshiro, so... Yeah.
So for that mental image, you're welcome. Ozma's real weakness is her low magical offense, which is a big effing whoop for a character who barely gets any anyway. Early JRPGs and their sense of balance was always kind of an odd relationship. Anyway, we head up to the throne room where we can speak with the king. "Oh, my dear, where are you going?" "I might have sort of crippled a man just now. I'm going to get the doctor. He's still at his house at the end of the lane." Yes, that sounds about right." "About right?" We then leave into the town, which is comprised of small, narrow roads and the open-air market.
Things aren't the same since your mom died.
That's a brick joke, everyone. We have Hero's money and items, so we can upgrade right away to the glass knuckles and the regal gown for a small sum. However, we can't leave town as the guards block the way. Now, do you want to take the guard? You've been kind of sitting idle.
"Yes, ma'am. Lady Ozma, we can't lower the drawbridge right now."
"Why? Because it's before daybreak. You realize as the Princess of Terubal, I am the embodiment of the law."
"No, ma'am, it's not that. We actually cannot. The only one who knows how to operate them is currently on the other side of the canal. Apparently we locked him out last night. Kind of short-sighted of us. I swear we'll have this straightened out in just a moment, milady. Please, just another event flag or two, I swear."
Sigh. We then go to the doctor.
I can't do this much longer.
I don't think he talks
again. Good choice.
I don't think he talks again after that. So I don't think he talks again after that. I think you're good. We go to the doctor's house, and Ozma will knock. Doctor, I already put the lime in the coconut, and it didn't help." "Doctor?" Ozma knocks again. "Doctor, what the hell? Why isn't he answering?" This confounded American gamers. In the Japanese script, it's made plainly clear that no one is home, but in the English, Ozma makes it sound like he's merely ignoring the door. The answer is to return to the throne room and speak to the king again. "Father, the doctor is missing." "Oh, yeah, about that. I might kind of banished his ass from the kingdom." "Father, why would you do that?" "Have you seen his rates?" "Father!" "It's okay. I totally know where he went. He went to live in the Mountain of Outcasts." "I'm not aware of any such place." It's on the mountain behind the kingdom. It's where everyone I banished lives. Father!
This is a reference to American Medicare. Medical care hasn't gotten any better
since the Middle Ages, which is really the future. But that's neither here nor there.
They don't know that.
That's a brick joke, everyone. You can leave the castle, whereupon two castle guards go to Ozma. And do you want to take a guard?
Milady, we insist to we accompany you. Yes, yes, I have come back. I am a different guy, but I have the same voice.
All right, fair enough.
I realize we might have a problem when we start encountering the Praetorians.
Yeah, this is going to get out of hand, isn't it? Oh, the denizens of the mountain will not be welcoming to a member of the Dorubal house. You're the ones without faces.
You?
Yes, I'm going with the Jimmy voice for guard number 2. Yes.
Oh, crap, I'm screwed, aren't I?
You're the ones without faces, names for legitimate backstories. Your funeral. Guards 1 and 2 join, though I can't fathom why. Ozma grossly outclasses them both. This is actually a nod to an intro bit in Breath of Fire, where Princess Nina is accompanied by 2 nameless, faceless guards, who it's very clear they're just kind of set up to die. And in this case, like when I was writing this, I remember sharing it with Itaku, and he's like, why does she need guards? She's an Amazon. Like, what's the point? And I'm like, I don't know. We're just doing this now.
Yeah, and they both, pretty much immediately die.
Yeah.
Sad to say. Oh, spoilers.
They die.
They die like
spoilers for like a paragraph down. Yeah. You're now free to leave the town and go to the world map, but a wild stampede of migratory sea sponges prevents Ozma from revisiting earlier cities Hero was at prior. So for now, we can only venture to the mountain range behind Torubal City. That's a Ghostbusters reference, everyone. We enter the foot of the mountain and begin up the winding trail. You'll soon find Ozma leveling up while the guards are locked at level 5 permanently, meaning they'll be the ones holding you back instead of the other way around. On the bright side, you can equip the Earth Talisman onto Ozma, which will bolster her overall defense. About midway up, you'll enter a cave with an eerie mist.
This is also another Breath of Fire reference. Nina in Breath of Fire basically can utilize the Earth key of the Goddess key. And basically, it is just like a free tier 2 attack spell.
Yep.
This must be the dreaded mountain maze.
What's so dreaded about it? It's just a cave.
Guard 2, why don't you explain it? You always explain it so well.
Oh, thank you, Guard 1. The dreaded mountain maze. Wait, is that a part of its name? Or are you just using an adjective? As I was saying, the dreaded mountain maze is a maze within the mountain. Is it also dreaded? Sometimes. I give up. I don't know what inspired that bit. That was just me being crazy, I guess. The maze itself is hardly anything dangerous. The enemies are merely things like blind bats, which are strong but constantly suffer a 50% hit rate. Mounted munchkins who ride atop mules for added stamina, or portly pigs, orc-like monsters who Ozma dismisses with a single punch. When you reach the end, the team fans out and looks around. The maze comes to a dead end at every path. What do I need to do to get out of here? Ozma punches the wall in frustration, which shakes the map. After a moment, there's another smaller shake as a boulder falls from the ceiling, taking Guard 2 down to the floor.
No, not Guard 2. He was the finest mind of his generation, and 2 days for retirement.
Oops. Down one helper, we can leap down the hole the boulder made and walk out of the small cave there to the other side of the mountain road. You head around the long curved strip, which eventually goes up to a town, nestled amidst the rocks. Is this it?
It appears so, my lady. The mountain of outcasts.
Yeah, try announcing that a little louder. I'm sure they'd all love the reminder.
All right, I'll start. It appears that...
The camera pans down the road as several doors pop open and civilian sprites dressed in their Sunday poorest come out, various farming implements in tow.
Oh, this is about to turn ugly.
Ozma cracks her knuckles. The people approach. Yeah, what do you want? We're then given a prompt. Choice 1 is, hello, sir. Have you heard the good word of Lull? Number 2 is pizza delivery. And 3 is Ozma Smash. If you pick prompt 3, you'll just fight some weak mooks, which even guard 1 in our party could best. The others get varying responses. Prompt 1. We don't take kind to that kind round these parts. You ain't a Tarubal, are you? No, I'm the other giantess with the royal seal emblazoned on my armor that lives in the same city. Well, good then. We got nothing to worry about. The villagers put their weapons away. Right then.
Do you ever get the sense that civilians in this world are kind of dumb?
Yeah, just a bit. Prompt 2. About time. We ordered that pizza like a month ago. Yeah. It took me so long to get here, I had to eat it to survive, so no charge. Aw. Okay. Well, since you're here, you might as well come in. Once you clear up who you are, you get to move around the town freely, with some slightly different flavor text to some NPCs. Head to the furthest back building to find the missing doctor. Ozma knocks. Open the door or lose it. A click is heard, and then the door pops open. As a tall, skinny gentleman in a lab coat is there. What voice do we give the doctor?
What are you? I thought I told that crown buffoon that it wasn't right or possible that he wouldn't listen.
Explanations can wait. I want you to help a guy who's totally into me, so I hope you can understand why I prioritized that over your previous banishment.
What happened to him?
I might have kind of put his lights out.
And he survived?
Doc!
Okay. Here, give him this.
Ozma gets the heal herb key item. Thanks, and I'll see if I can't get Daddy, the king, to overturn your sentence.
I'd rather you not, frankly. If anyone asks, you didn't get that from me.
Huh? Well, if you insist.
Good. Now kindly, if you'd be so kind, take the road here next to my house, and you'll find the shortcut. Good day, little princess. I'm definitely trustworthy and not going to betray you later.
Yes, he's definitely trustworthy and not shady at all. We can then access the road as the fence there moves out of the way and allows us to return back and forth freely. Now that the road through the mountain is one way, we return to Tarubal City and suddenly find it slightly darker and overrun by punks on skateboards. What in the world?
The city is under attack by ruffians. Hold the fort, my liege. I am on my way.
No, wait! The guard runs off screen, only to get kicked back onto it on his back.
No, I was just one day from my retirement.
Two skateboard punks walk on screen.
The Dark Puddings gave us the run of this rap city, dudes, and now we run it the way we want.
Like a giant skate park! Punching you is going to feel a little too good. We then deal with some skate punks to clear out the path. We can hurry back into the castle and go straight to Hero now. Let's see, what does the label say? Warning, may cause underwritten romance. Well, this is a SnekCon game. That ship has sailed. Ozma gives Hero the heal herb, which in the Western release claims Ozma nursed Hero to health. In the original Japanese, it said, crammed it into his mouth. That's a cave story reference, everyone. The scene fades and reopens with Hero on his feet again. My lady, you have saved my life. Again. I'll ignore that you were the one who endangered it, really. Right, but unfortunately we have more pressing matters at hand. Then allow me to help you. It's the least I, Hero, can do. Then let's go, Hero. Hero and Ozma reform the party. Next, we'll want to leave the castle and head out. On top of random encounters, there's also some set ones, with skate punks terrorizing the locals. This not only nets us some nice items from the populace, including a skateboard Hero can use as a shield, it also helps make up any difference in level the two may have had. Once we've done everything, we can go to the castle throne room where the king is cowering in the corner. The skate punks zoom around the room, and one in particular is perched on the throne. By the way, if you haven't...
I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of how you'd use a skateboard as a shield, and I'm kind of not.
It's
you
been
know what?
10 years. I don't know what I was thinking. That's just what happened.
This is like the least of let's not even get into the point where a Loy-Roll uses a tinfoil, shuriken in a microwave as a weapon. So,
Yeah. Also, if you
Anyways,
haven't figured it out, this entire bit is a reference to an early scenario in Super Mario RPG where the Mushroom Town is taken over by a bunch of shy guys on pogo sticks. That's what this is a callback to. Yes.
man, 90s skater culture will never die.
Yeah, it will certainly never be replaced by hell, NASCAR, Beanie Babies, some other cultural flotsam. Aha! The prodigal daughter of the recently dethroned Terubal. While you were out, I have claimed this kingdom for our own amusement. The dark puddings will reign forever, and skating will never die! Bastard! Now, Ozma, maybe we should give them the chance to explain their policies. Huh? Yeah, as king, surely you must have some bold new vision. After all, you don't overthrow a monarchy purely for the pursuit of trivial temporary athletic competition. Uh, oh God, you really did. Can we start punching him now until he stops living? Sounds good to me. Boss
Fight.
fight. Boss fight. King Skater, who has life points of 2,300 and MP of just 120. Skate punks times 5, each with 750 HP to their name and no magic points. This fight opens with the message, "Ha ha! You can't reach me!" And it is unfortunately true. So long as even a single skate punk remains in the way, Hero and Ozma cannot target the King Skater. Using rice pudding is completely useless, by the way, as the skate punks and King Skater keep letting into him, which takes its toll when you're the punching bag. After a few rounds of impotently killing skate punks, Hero kneels. It's no use. Every time I try to act, they strike as one. Hero, are you all right? Pudding eugenics program. Looks like selective breeding lost the bet on that gamble. I will be bested, not by the dark puddings themselves, but mere children. Hero falls flat. No, Hero! Don't tell me your wounds are flaring up again. Sister, Ozma, forgive me. But so long as I hold the Earth Talisman, the dark pudding's ignoble ambition will still end. A flash of a huge, red-eyed monster staring right at the player, followed by a black screen. A moment passes, and a text box appears on screen, with the faint silhouette of a strange, tiny creature on screen.
Do you want to live? Do you experience life to its maximum potential?
Your choices are yes or no. If no,
Think really hard about that decision one more time, because if you say no, you kind of die.
if you select no 128 times in a row,
I mean, really? Seriously? Well, okay. Be that way, jerk.
you then get the game over and the era of war never ended message for this too. But if you select yes,
Ask yourself, why does pudding conform to the shape of its container? Is pudding solid or liquid, or is it both? The answer is it's a thick liquid, but you might be malleable as the pudding from which you derive your name. You must be both sweet and tangy, filling and light. Do you understand?
not a word.
Excellent! Then let me say it another way. When one flavor fails to satisfy, what then must the pudding do?
Open another snack cup?
Precisely. You understand your own base nature. When two flavors become as one, a new powerful flavor is born. As such, you must discover which flavor best complements your own. Embrace this change and evolve eternally upwards. Hero, 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 hero. I'm going into a tunnel.
The screen goes white as Hero gets back up and into the fight. Hero, are you all right? I felt something awaken just now. Ozma, do you trust me? The script says I do completely, without an iota of hesitation. Then let's go.
Oh my.
Under Hero's skill list is a new pudding morph, Swirl. Swirl's the catch-all that, when you meet specific requirements, allows Hero to fuse with another party member. Ozma's fusion is given to us as of this battle, giving us the chocolate raspberry swirl. Hero and Ozma become an entirely new entity, carrying an enormous stone axe and physical stats so high the skate punks will struggle to deal 1 damage to it. One blow will send each skate punk packing. Once you take out 2 or 3, you get a new message. The skate punks are terrified, and they'll flee in turn until nothing stands between you and the Skate King. I'm not afraid of you. At this point, it becomes a slam-bang contest to the finish. Chocolate Raspberry Pudding has no skills to its name, but it's a little game-breaking-ish, and then again, all the swirls are, including the eventual triple and party swirl morph modes. Just send this guy packing. What was that power? I don't know, but when I activated, my percentage began skyrocketing. I have no idea. Daddy! Asa rushes to her cowering father, who immediately rushes back to the throne and reclaims his crown. Yes, indeed. That was a difficult trial, but I was so confident you had it under control, I simply stood in the corner and awaited the obvious outcome. Yes, so, this is a trying time for us all. I must thereby request you, Leroy, Hero, to go west from here and crush a dark pudding stranglehold on the drawbridge which links my fair nation to the next. All right, I can't think of anything better to do. Excellent! I want to ask all about what the doctor was saying, but I get the feeling I'll just get stonewalled as usual. Father, I will accompany Hero, in order to ensure that his mission succeeds, and the welfare of Teruel is maintained, of course. Good, great, perfect. I await news of your success. Come, Hero, let us depart now. We then return through the town one last time, as the citizenry thank us profusely for our efforts. Then we head a short trek west. With the sea sponges safely in their new homes, we can go to the drawbridge encampment. When we enter, the rules change a little bit. We have 3 ways of going about this: sneaking by everyone patiently, killing them hastily, or sneaking up behind them and systematically knocking them out. The last one is only available here and pretty much nowhere else in this entire franchise, so the fact that it's even an option at all is a surprise to most until they deliberately try to get into a fight and then realize stealth kills don't yield XP. The real prize is when we find their storage tent and load up from their losses. Next to it is their prison tent, where a curvaceous ninja girl is holed up in a cardboard box, animated with a "help" balloon over it. Are you alright?
No, please let out me of this prison. It's hell. I can't see.
Hero shrugs and then cuts the tape.
Ah.
The girl climbs out quickly, panting, with surprisingly well-rendered jiggle physics. Who are you?
It was a different time.
It was the 90s.
It was a different time. It was a different time. I'm Kim Yawa, enemy to the Dark Pudding's evil ambition, and you are?
I'm Hero, and this is Ozma.
Hiro Nichan! We must escape immediately across the bridge, and in some ways we'll find Loyrol.
Who is...
My Nissan!
Sure, whatever. That totally makes sense with all my English speaking and all.
Let's hurry.
We didn't get to stealth our way through the camp's remainder to the drawbridge. If we came here without Kimyawa, Hiro would stop and mention he felt like we needed to look around first. Now that the gang's all here, Ozma runs to the chains and shatters them with her hand, dropping the bridge like a lead weight into place. Come on! Wow, such brute strength, such primal beauty.
Later, Nichan, let's go.
End of Chapter 2.
Chapter 3, The White Devil Dies in Magma! Wow, that sure is very, very exciting.
And very specific.
They won't get the reference. It's a reference to Majinger. It's a
Turn A, Gundam, and Majinger. Yes.
Yes. You'll find yourself by a large dam that's blocking the flow of a large river. Approach the dam on the left side and you'll see a building you can enter. The Thoro Londo River Dam Complex. Do you want to be any of the workers?
I'll be worker 1. You were guard 1, so I should be worker 1. Damn it. The water pressure isn't enough to excavate the giant. What is the general thinking? The river just doesn't have the power they need to cut through the solid rock.
Redirect from the electricity generation for the town, Sin. The generals want the giants ready for Heavenly King Cord.
But the town depends on that to survive. You know their crops can't grow without the generators.
Do it.
Fine.
Pushes a button. It'll be fine. You'll see. It's better this way. The two walk off.
How rude. Rulers shouldn't abuse their power like this.
See? This is the extent of the Dark Pudding's evil. This is why we need to rescue my Nissan.
Hey, both of you. We need to be quiet now. I don't like the sound of that Heavenly King guy.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, what? You can freely move into the dam complex, and of course it's filled with enemies, namely dark soldiers, pudding commanders, and frenzied conscripts. You'll find that Kimyawa is adept at putting all of these down, but her defenses are pretty much nil, so putting her behind Ozma or Hero is advisable. Head down, following the pipes, until you enter a crack in the wall. You now can go past the dam, and if you follow the pipes, you'll enter the Glacier Valley Caverns. If not, then you'll follow the river upstream. You'll enter the town of Heston. It's up to you. I'll describe the process I did here. Heston. This is a reference to the fact that in Breath of Fire 1, there was I want to say there was one town that was called Terry and another one, no, it was
Bo's
Romero.
Japanese name was Gilliam, and there was the
No,
town
but
of
there was
Romero.
there was a town, yeah. So it literally is a reference to Terry Gilliam and George Romero. And so we did something similar here. This is the town of Heston. The locals all mention a stranger with purple hair and a variety of swords. However, you'll need to talk to the village elder to proceed. A strange young man calling himself the Hunter of Swords came by here a week past, going to the Valley of Giants. What's he doing there? Legends tell of a powerful weapon in there during the Age of Ice. I believe your brother went there to find it and use it on the dam. The dam and the workers here are killing our ability to grow crops. All they ever want to use the electricity for is excavating dark technology from the cavern downstream.
As contrived and two-faced as that explanation was, considering you mentioned the weapon in the Valley of Giants as being helpful, but mentioned dark tech in the caverns downstream, are you setting up a technology is bad message or a people are evil message?
Whatever makes you angrier.
Oh, so how do we get to that valley?
Well, normally I'd say go through the pass to the north, but be warned, you have to go past Zias and that town of damn dirty apes. Be careful!
This is a subtle joke, everybody.
Extremely subtle. You really think that Jimmy has watched Planet of the Apes, like the original?
No.
So, as the elder said, as the elder said, builder, what the heck? As the elder said, go north. Sure enough, there's another town to the north. Enter it to get to Zias. Or Zaius?
I think it's
Yeah,
supposed to be
I believe it's Zaius.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Zaius. Okay, yes. Zaius. The townspeople here are all very surly, and several will outright attack you. After interacting with 3 people, you'll get another cutscene.
What's with these people?
You came from Heston, didn't you? These culturally backward savages, we're the future.
Oh no, I think we just got into the middle of a culture war. What's wrong with Heston?
The real question is, what's right with Heston? They're the reason our continent is falling into the brink.
You're kidding, right? The dark puddings are on your doorstep. They're stealing your livelihood, and you're fighting your neighbors. What reason do you have to do that?
They open bananas on the bottom as opposed from the stem. That's not natural. So,
I'm leaving. This is getting too idiotic.
oh yeah, I bet you open bananas from the wrong end too, you deviant. It was a different time. It was the 90s.
It was the
in
90s,
2012.
yo.
In 2012.
Yes.
Yes. This is important, as the next bit won't occur if you don't enter Zaius. Also, you may want to go to Zaius anyways, as it has an upgrade in weapons and armor for both Ozma and Kimyawa. Fuku armors, that's Sailor Fuku or Sailor uniform. Ozma's brutal bracelets, and the windmill shuriken for Kimyawa. Now enter the gap in the mountains to the northeast. The party is blown to the ground by a lightning bolt where a large mustachioed man appears. Yes! Oh!
An enemy!
Do you want to be the first Praetorian, or shall I?
No, you can take the first one. I'll take the next.
I am the Praetorian Doe. I am under the orders of Lord Zodon himself. You are not to get past me. Boss battle against Praetorian Doe. Light points, 5,700. Magic points, 450. Praetorian Dough immediately enters pudding form, a vanilla wave form, which makes him immune to fire and air magic. Therefore, don't use flame or sky prana with Kimyawa, but instead use physical attacks and employ Ozma's table flip technique, which has a chance of lowering his defense. However, once he gets down to quarter health, his body will solidify and you'll do no damage, queuing up yet another cutscene.
Our attacks are doing no damage. What did you do to your body?
Lady Janie's heavenly kings are a wondrous lot. For instance, Lord Kodas has unlocked our ancestors' genes and found all sorts of new ways to empower ourselves. This is one such way. Cornstarch armor thickening.
Gasp! Who actually says the word gasp? Anyway, we'll be back. You'll see.
Ta-ta! You're now booted back to the past. You good there?
I was just like, oh, that's a new level of smug.
Oh, it's fine. We get him anyway.
That's
You
true.
should make your way back all the way to the caverns. Enter them to find the Glacier Valley Caverns, which is different than the other caverns that we were in. They're completely different.
Yes.
Glacier Valley Caverns. The caverns, as their name suggests, are covered in ice. Good to know. Thanks to this, the enemies found here, Frost Munchkin, Sneaky Skier, and Ice Flies, are also ice-themed, leading to Kimyawa being even more powerful offensively here as her Flame Prana deals massive damage to anything and everything. Continue to follow the path, and eventually you'll find the pipes of the dam, which will lead to gouts of steam. Be careful as you'll get red from being hit by them. This is a kind of a in-joke. Red is actually a status ailment. The 4 major statuses of Amazing Quest are drunk, poison, sleep, and red. Red is effectively like getting extremely hot and bothered, shall we say.
Yes.
And of course, this being the early 90s, they can't just say that you're like embarrassed. So
Red. Just red.
yeah, just red. After the busted pipes, you'll find a stairway. Descending, you'll enter into the solid rock with large machines humming along the walls as they, presumably, drill into the rock.
So how is
Another.
the progress on the excavation?
Praetorian Ray, the digging is going well, as you can see. The White Devil is nearly completely excavated. The camera pans up to a large robot nearly dug out of the ice and rock that seems to have covered it.
Excellent! Lord Cord ought to be very pleased. With this, the world will soon be under us. What is that? Dunno.
Astute gamers will note that this is in fact a boss creature which has terrorized those that played Amazing Quest Pudding Quarter. Oh, still rough. And many sigh of relief when they have to deal with Lee afterwards. Yes, this is Golden God Bardagos. Because, everybody knows that guy.
Yeah, obviously.
The mechanical deity created by the Golden Tribe to protect themselves from the puddings. But that's neither here nor there. Approaching it causes another cutscene. Machine's eyes flash, and the entire complex rumbles.
What did you all do? Maybe it was you.
Look out! The machine lashes out with its arms and rises up. Beep boop. I am Bardakos, the Golden Guardian, scanning for Golden Tribesmen. Affirmative. It leans down to Ozma. Awaiting orders.
Say something. Oh, destroy the dark puddings in the area.
Affirmative. The theme of Bardagos, Golden Guardian of Genesis. That's a Geiger reference.
Yes.
Blares as a lance of light surges forward, vaporizing the workers and soldiers around the party. Oh no, not Worker 1.
No.
He was my favorite.
He was the best character. Impossible! The Guardian has awoken already! Wait, no! The light puddings!
Climb aboard my chassis. I may be able to protect you, mistress. The party climbs aboard the robot's chest as Ray approaches, sword drawn. Boss battle! Praetorian Ray. He has 5,600 life points and 450 magic points. This fight is a cakewalk. Bardigos regains HP each round and has stupendously high defense. In addition, its attacks are a spectacle to behold. One or two of any of them ought to slay Ray, but I am particularly fond of Golden Guardian Slayer Fist myself.
No!
Do you get the sense? Do you get the sense that I like super robots? Because I do.
Just a bit. Just a little bit. No! I can't let the Light Police gain control of such a weapon!
Ray
Raw?
just draws. Yeah, the Egyptian god who shows up and helps the Dark Puddings. Ray draws a grenade from his cloak.
Long live Zordon!
Explosion that wipes out the screen, leaving Bardigos untouched and the ceiling opened.
Thank God, that voice was starting to take a toll on me.
He died somehow.
He died. The Dark Puddings are willing to sacrifice themselves for their goals.
Baka, 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 baka.
Let's go pay Dill a visit again.
You now have access to Bardigos on the overworld, and he makes random encounters incredibly easy. Head north, back to the past, where Doe will remain. So you return with a oh-ho-ho-ho! You have the golden god that Brother Ray was excavating. So clever. Come, try your luck again. Boss fight again. Praetorian Doe, Redux. He has 6,000 life points, 600 magic points. Doe stats are slightly better, but there's no problem for Bardigos. Once hit... Once?
Once hit? I think you meant to put one hit.
Well, I'm just reading it right here. I'm like, one, yeah, okay, Doi, dumb past Jitaku. One hit should drop him into the cornstarch form, and two more hits ought to do him in. No sweats. Oh! It explodes.
Seriously, why does everyone do that? Eck, look!
The explosion caused magma to erupt out of the earth. I mean, yeah, it's beep, boop, orders, mistress.
Let us off.
Affirmative. It drops hero Ozma and Kimyawa. Orders.
Use your special attack. Strike the magma.
Affirmative. Charges its eye cannons, but the magma causes the robot to buckle and drop to one knee, making its laser fire at the dam, destroying it in a blossom of white light. The river then floods the surrounding area violently and cools the magma, encasing Bardigos in stone.
Bardigos.
Do not cry for me, mistress. I have achieved my function. And that ends the first half of Chapter 3. This, actually, if I remember correctly, it took me about 3 months to do this next bit. But honestly, this is probably my favorite bit overall. So, all right, so this is Chapter 3.5. We're back. A dinosaur genocide story.
So, now we're in the Valley of Giants. Wonder why they call it that. Maybe because everything is really big here.
Or maybe there's a race of cannibalistic giants who eat people, and the people here have to live in a giant walled city to survive.
Nah, that'd be stupid.
Once again, can you tell that this was written in 2012, right when Attack on Titan happened?
Yeah.
All joking aside, the Valley of Giants is a tough area. The enemies here all have the giant trait, making their physical stats massive, and many, like the giant nautilus, salamand, and snakefish, all have large magic and defense as well. The valley leads to the north, where a walled city resides.
Oh, my.
I told you!
Son of a bitch.
Hello? Are you all dinosaurs?
Yes. No. I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus. Ignoring that for a moment. No, we're not dinosaurs. Why do you ask?
Oh, because our city is constantly at war with the dinosaurs. They want our dimondium that they use for their machines.
Dinosaurs have machines?
I'm going to assume you all aren't dinosaurs. Dinosaurs would know they have machines.
I can't fault his logic.
After that exchange, the gate opens and you enter the stronghold of humanity, Wall City. Wall City. The people in Wall City are furtive and scared. It seems the dinosaurs are attacking as a regular occurrence, and when they don't outright eat their captives, they tend to haul them off for God knows what. However, talking to a portly man in the bar yields this.
Man, that Ponzi young man sure did pay well.
Excuse me, did you say Ponzi? How Ponzi is that man?
He made me feel positively secure in my masculinity.
Oh,
I like dudes, just to be clear.
there's no doubting it, then. This has to be my Nissan.
Just what kind of man is this brother of yours?
He's a great man.
I doubt that man bit, but he left saying he's gonna go to the contested zone.
Contested zone?
The dinosaurs took control of a section of the outer wall on the eastern side. The section of the city is now being fought over by the dinosaurs and the army. Kimiyawa,
He's fine, I'm sure of it. Nissan is a Kenjutsu master.
And I sure know what that is.
That's sword fighting. It's just sword fighting. It's a archaic way of saying sword fighting. That's all it is. Head to the eastern side of the city, and an army blockade is in your way. Halt! Civilians can't get through. This area is dangerous.
Well,
You can either pick Hiro, Asba, or Kimiyawa. If you chose Hiro...
pretty please?
Aw, you sure are a cutie. See if you really want to. It'd be a shame if you got eaten, though.
Is it my braids?
If you chose Ozma...
Can we go through, please?
She leans over, revealing her toned body. Ah! Falls over, clutching his heart.
Why, I never.
If you chose Kimiyawa... Onegai, can we please get past? My puppy got lost down a drain pipe, and I would really appreciate it if such a strong, kind man like yourself could help me. She bends all the way over, leaving what little of her cleavage not covered is now on display. It's fine, puts his hand on her bosom. Can you feel my urgent plea? Oh, God. Oh, God, I touched a girl. Oh, God. He then collapses. Yatta! I killed another man with my womanly charms.
Is that what you call that? Also, this episode is going to be clipped out of context, like, so hard, is all I'm saying.
It was a different time, okay?
It was the 90s, in the 2012s.
It was the 90s in 2012, yes. It was a different time, okay? All right?
And SnekCon
Kimiyawa
DTK only had, like, 2 voice actors, and they weren't going to pay for more.
I mean, we could have gotten more, but no one else wanted to do it. So,
yeah.
In any case, in any way you choose, you'll enter the contested zone. And what a contested zone it is. The entire thing is covered in craters, and the enemies now include dinosaur soldiers, Wexler riders, and Triceratops. The encounter rate is also stupidly high as well. Oh, so it's Breath of Fire 2 then. But this serves to level you up quicker. Now there are 3 things you can do here. The first is the northeast, where there's a locked door that remains of the wall, a locked bunker to the north, and to the southeast. A purple-haired man dashes past 3 dinosaur soldiers who explode. No problem! Nissan! Purple-haired man. Kimiyawa. You're here too. And you found some helpers. I'm trying to find the treasure of our clan. I tracked it to this city. It seems like the coordinate I was given is in this place too. Oh well. Nissan, these people and I have been worried sick about you. We need to find the dark puddings, not prance about.
Wait, we do care?
Yes. Well, I do like prancing, but this is important. Kimyawa, it's not just for the clan, but for me. I need to feel my confidence boosted by getting this.
So romantic. Gross. Anyway, I suppose we ought to help you.
I, Loyrol, the sword master, will help you, Pudding.
How did he know that?
He's Loyrol. He knows
He
stuff.
just knows stuff, yeah.
Loyrol is an interesting and very good character. He uses swords like several other characters, but his skills are based off the attack of the weapon he's using. In addition, he doesn't use swords bought from stores. Rather, outside of battle, you pay money to him to use one of his copious collection of blades. I got him up to the Silver Saber, his sixth sword, before moving on. Another thing you'll notice is that he starts at level 5, about 20 levels lower than Hero and the others. No matter. Proceed to the locked door at the wall and you'll receive another cutscene. Loyrol slices the door. Tweet, tweet! The key I have is reacting to this place. The weapon must be nearby. Enter the broken door, and you'll enter a series of catacombs. Random encounters continue on here, but press on until you get to the 3rd floor, where a series of push tiles will warp you around. Continue on as best you can until you find an outcropping with a drop all around it.
Like,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I guess. I guess that's yeah, just like I guess like a gangplank or something.
Something
I don't
like
know.
that.
In the middle of it is a chest. I mean, it literally is Karn's thing from
Yeah.
Breath of Fire 1, where he goes, except instead of a pyramid, apparently we're in Attack on Titan. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yes.
Loyrol opens a chest. Inside is a mirror. It all makes sense now, does it? Does it really? The one I should view trust in is the mirror flashes and a beam of light blasts Loyrol in the face, vaporizing a hole in the ceiling. Nissan, are you all right? Loyrol, his face now comically blackened. I'm fine. I guess our ancestors had a sense of humor to them.
You sure it's not just your ancestors?
Loyrol gains confidence. The new item, the Mirror of Ki, is a powerful infinite use attack item. It's also a reference to a Tecmo early RPG called Ki's Journey, if you must know. It's kind of like the Mystery Dungeon games. It's kind of hard, a little bit, but it's a Famicom RPG. You go into that kind of expecting that. Use it in battle, and it will either blast a foe for heavy light damage or spray lasers at all enemies for medium light damage. Catch, only Kimyawa or Loyrol can use it. I prefer to let Kimyawa use it as Loyrol hits hard enough as it is. With the mirror in our possession, continue to the other locked bunker and do not, I repeat, do not go to the southeast again.
I can feel something inside.
Yes, the door, which opens. Inside is a large cloaked figure in a magic circle. Do you want to be the pudding saint?
Yeah,
Or
I'll be the pudding saint this time. Hero
Okay.
of the light puddings, many place their hopes on you. I can unlock the potential hidden in your genes, but you must be ready. Fine, I accept. My true potential can't be any worse than my weak pudding powers anyway. Very well.
This is Saint Flavian. This is a funny joke because it sounds like flavor. No, seriously, that's why I made him that. Light points, 6,500. Magic points, 700. Saint Flavian, despite his high HP, isn't hard. He often resorts to Jiggle, a minor multi-hit physical move. Even though you only have Hero for this battle, it really isn't that hard, provided you keep track of his life points.
Excellent. Now the last test. Wait, there's more? Indeed. I will now take the life of your woman. Is this an acceptable cost for power? Oh my. Ozma, no, never! Very well. What of your concubine, who cannot keep her chest covered? May I slay her to grant you power? No, Kimiawa's my friend.
Hi, Tamagotchi desu.
Acceptable. What of your flamboyant companion? May I kill him in order to unlock your true potential?
I am an acceptable sacrifice, am I not? Nissan!
No, not even Loyroll. Look, I'd rather keep myself weak if it means killing someone to get stronger. Indeed, your companions are your true strength, hero. Dark puddings revel in themselves and forget others. Light puddings embrace others and live for their sake. You are no accident, but a blessing. Live as the true savior you are.
Saint Flavin disappears, and Hero learns the combo swirl pudding form.
Such power!
Great, he's lost it.
I'll show them! I'll show them all!
Hero strides out of the room, and you are returned outside. Now you can enter the southeast. There, a large regiment of dinosaur soldiers and a large red dinosaur in a suit of armor are present. Gentle Stars, we are on the cusp of victory! Humanity is on the brink of defeat, and the pudding tribes rip each other to shreds. We will rise above. Come, the coup de grace awaits.
Hello? Did you say humanity is finished?
Indeed, Pterosaurus Rex will be your undoing. Dinosaurs attack! Dinosaur Paladins, times 6. They each have 1,000 life points, 250 magic points. This isn't a hard boss at all. It's largely there as a tutorial fight for combo swirl form. You pick one character and get an amalgamated form based on the character you're combining with. With 5H.
With 5. Yes.
With 5. Ozma grants you massive strength bonuses with an affinity for powerful physical moves. Kimyoa grants high speed and a penchant for wind-based area attacks. Loyroll has middling attack and defense, but gives you regeneration and the ability to use his sword specials. Destroy them as you see fit. Impossible! Dinosaurs, retreat! Humanity is not as weak as we imagine! The dinosaurs all flee behind Pterosaurus.
Hooray! The puddings have saved us!
Surely, Lord Pudding, you will take the fight to the dinosaurs? Of course we will. After all, no one can match our tempo. Ha ha! All these dinosaurs surely will have sore bottoms after we're done with them.
You need to stop talking. But we should help them. Fine, fine. We'll do it.
Yeah! 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 I'm concerned about what that last guy said. Exit the city from the hole in the wall and heads northeast, following the valley. Sure, and you'll find a large floating fortress hovering over a section of the ocean. That is where you want to go. The Terror Palace. The entire area. Terror Palace. The entire area is filled with dark corners, red flames, and bone ornaments. It also has these weird generators. Breaking them opens the doors and replenishes a bit of MP. That's how you progress. The best thing to do is go down first, the bottom level, and then has a series of weapons, such as the Grim Gauntlets and Grave Cleaver for Ozma and Hero, respectively. You can also talk to some captives in the cage, particularly one mermaid who seems surly about her stolen goods. Was that what we took? Oops. Well, in any case, we now ascend the tower. At the top, you'll see Pterosaurus Rex and a new super dinosaur. Pterosaurus Rex. We have alerted the puddings to our presence. No choice but to use you, Beamchiosaurus. Indeed, raise that filthy town to the ground. The Beamchiosaurus begins to charge energy in his head, but Loyroll raises the Mirror of Ki, and the Beamchiosaurus's laser attack is deflected back, ripping a chunk out of its shoulders. Not again! This is a Chrono Trigger reference. But it's okay. They probably haven't played that.
Probably.
It's such an indie game.
Yeah, super
Chrono
obscure.
Trigger.
Basically known for
And
recruitment.
yeah, it's like one of those games only the most advanced fans have ever played.
Yeah.
Pterosaurus Rex and Beamchiosaurus. Pterosaurus has 3,500 life points and 1,000 magic points. Beamchiosaurus has 6,000 life points and 700 magic points. I don't know why I'm
It's like, why are you doing the
doing...
voice?
This fight is the hardest up to this point, and for good reason. Pterosaurus will repeatedly use stat-raising spells such as Ox Build, Fox Raise, Owl Upper, and the like to raise Beamchiosaurus's defense and attack, while Beamchiosaurus charges its eye cannons. Thus, your priority should be to use Combo Swirl, form on Kimyawa or Ozma, and proceed to attack with either the Mirror of Ki, or if you have it, Benny Jet with Loyroll. Once Pterosaurus is defeated, then the Beamchiosaurus will go berserk, ceasing its charge action and just smash the party randomly. Hang in there, and you can do it. No! Is this the will of the universe? Will we always be the butt of everyone's jokes? You merely cannot keep up with the tempo of our will, dinosaurs. Now die kindly, please. Loyroll takes the Mirror of Ki and raises it, blasting the Terror Palace. The entire palace crumbles and finally explodes, hurling the party into the air. Well, I didn't expect that to happen.
Well, what did you expect?
The party crashes into the water as the mermaid from before swims after them and picks them up. And that is the end of Chapter 3. And are we gonna wrap up there? I mean,
that's
we are about a third of the way through the entire thing. So
that's about 33%. So yeah, that's probably the best stopping point that we have.
All right.
Yeah, you can tell this is a passion project that I would argue has aged gracefully, all things considered.
Yeah, it does definitely show its age, but I think it can be, appreciated even in spite of that, or maybe perhaps because of it in certain senses.
Yeah,
And it oh, I was just gonna say, and yeah, it's very clear that, certain people really love JRPGs. Just just gonna say that. And if you think that it only gets worse, if anything, it gets worse.
there is a love of the era. Really, it's a time capsule of that time and place. And it's a sort of energy you don't see in modern comedy. You can tell we focused very much on character humor and goofy observations or someone playing the fool, as opposed to whoa, I'm so wacky. Oh man, Gat score Ohio the Rizzler. Modern comedies
Dibbity
suck.
dibbity. It kind of does, yes. But that's okay. Oh, one of my favorite bits is coming up in the next chapter.
Oh, is it?
Please don't make me beg. I'm not a proud man. Oh, this is going to get hot.
And friendship is a sacred treasure above all material wealth in pudding society.
So you were lying. Jeez.
Pudding's got to do what a pudding's got to do. Leave your comments down below. Let us know what you guys thought. Was our unparalleled acting talent too much for you to handle? Do let us know. We're gonna get clipped so hard, and I can smell like YouTube poop fodder on this episode, like all over the place. Like stuff's definitely being taken out of context, is what I'm saying.
I for one welcome the YouTube poops, and just know that only about half of the humor is derived from the silly voices.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, like most of what we have said that's pretty much just how it was written. So
yeah.
yeah.
So if you guys liked it, let us know. Let us know who your favorite character is, and who is your waifu? Is it Ozma or is it Kimyawa? Or is it Loyroll?
Oh well,
I mean, I'm not going to rule out that possibility. Loyroll can be your waifu too.
I mean he is very fabulous. But I mean,
Yes,
we haven't even gotten like half the cast yet. So
and that's true. And that's true. There are more characters to come. But in the first third of the game, who's your favorite? We want to know. So I think that's going to bring this first epic reading of Amazing Quest Pudding Warrior to its close for now. Also, let's see if the next time we record for this, if we remember all the random character voices we've come up with thus far. Because odds are good we're going to forget at least one or two.
I think I will remember Loyroll. I've been practicing that one for like a good solid 2 weeks or so.
I don't know. I might forget Hero's voice, but, I hope not.
That literally is you talking. How would
Just
you forget?
my regular voice, yes. That's the joke. I was originally going to do for the king of Torubal. I was kind of trying to do the king from the Zelda CDI games, and I realized I kind of like meandered into my old man voice, so that was interesting.
This is what the true pieces were all true heroes try for. Link, my boy.
My boy, my boy, my boy. All right, and this has been the Tomodachi Bros podcast / epic reading, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
My boy.